We are back with the 123rd edition of the Quarantinecast. I'm really excited for this one. I have Julio Arce, who is recently announced he is dropping down to Bantamweight and has a matchup lined up. Without further ado, I'm going to bring him on. Hey, man, how you doing?
What's going on? I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
Not too bad. Hanging in there, surviving everything.
I hear you, man. We're right now, pandemic, snowstorm, got a lot going on up in here. But most important, fight season.
So, yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the pandemic. How have you been throughout the whole thing?
Actually, like a little bit of I'd say like a blessing in disguise. I got a couple injuries taken care of, and got a lot of other things taken care of. So now, I'm kind of now really just refocused on just training. I had to get double elbow surgery. That's why I was out for a while, and now back, gonna drop the bantamweight and looking to now kick off 2021.
How was your recovery for your elbow injuries?
It was, they took out a lot more than expected. So, glad it only took a few months, and then just a lot of strength training to fix it all up. It was pretty bad. I couldn't extend my arms at one point.
I think it's the best timing, I guess, in terms of the pandemic. Give you the opportunity to go in there and get that taken care of.
Yeah, it was worth it, though. It was worth it.
I want to talk a bit about your coaching, because you do coaching there at Schulmann's as well. So what was that like throughout the whole thing?
You know what? We followed all the protocols. We were open. First, we were doing Zoom classes. We were teaching through Zoom. You're trying to adapt to the way things are, and then also once we were given the green light to kind of open up again, we reopened, and we're just following what has to be followed. And people are training, man, and we're doing everything we can to keep people training, because I know like being stuck inside and doing nothing is also driving people a little crazy. People want to be able to work out. People want to be able to do something, not just stay home. So, we're taking every precaution that has to be taken so everyone's safe and everyone can enjoy their training still.
I want to talk a bit about you going to Tiger Schulmann, because if I'm not mistaken, you went there as a way to lose weight. So when you have the opportunity to give back, do you find it extra rewarding?
Yeah, oh man, because I think a lot of people are trying to find, like their journey in martial arts. I think people believe they have like this notion that think if you're in martial arts, like you're gonna succeed. No, it's like you're taking like this journey for yourself to accomplish kind of goals for yourself, and kind of find a certain side of yourself that you're like, oh shit, never seen this side of me before, in a motivating way, whether it's learning self-defense, losing weight, whatever it is. But you take this journey where you kind of hold yourself accountable for your improvement. You can't point the finger at anybody else but yourself, because in martial arts, the only way to improve is to train, to practice. Right? It's not gonna happen just at the snap of your fingers. You have to put in the work, and I think that's what martial arts did for me. So it helped me just take this journey for myself and aim to make myself better, and now here we are.
If you could give one message to people who are walking into the gym for the first time, like you did many years ago, what would that message be?
I think you just get in there, get in there and just do it. Don't procrastinate. Don't think, I'm not ready for it. No, it's like everyone can train in martial arts. Doesn't matter what age you are.
I love it, man. That being said, man, the whole reason I reached out to you was because of this fight. One of the things that kind of surprised me is you are making that move down to bantamweight. What went behind that decision?
I think I was competing at featherweight because for me, like I didn't want to continue doing the weight drop, but then also now that I moved to weight, these guys are a lot bigger than me. I mean, you look at one of my teammates, Shane, who's giant. He's a big featherweight. So, you know, all these guys are huge, and you can clearly see that I'm someone that belongs in the lower weight class. So now that I have a really good team behind me to help me with the nutrition, everything I need to know, I think it's going to be the weight cut's going to be going super smooth. And you know, back in the regional circuit days, it was a little tough. But you know what? It's like now it's time to really dial down and make it better, and then I think everything's going to go nice and smooth. So I look forward to dropping back down to the division I was originally in, and make a run at it.
You have a belt in that division.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was it like competing for Ring of Combat? You were a double champ there.
It was great, man. Ring of Combat, you know, they have a lot of, you know, they're kind of like why I'm in the UFC. They're an organization that, I'll say a promotion that, you know, send a lot of fighters to the UFC, and they had a lot of, you know, people. They were on the you know, people watching. People were seeing, okay, what other fighters are going to be produced out of Ring of Combat to go into the UFC. So just knowing that they have that platform, they send so many guys. I'm like, this is the place where I want to have some fights, because then I'm going to get my shot. And that's exactly what happened. So, you know, shout out to Lou Negley and Ring of Combat for producing all these, you know, fighters that went to UFC.
Yeah, your only loss there is to Brian Kelleher, who was also in the UFC and doing a run himself.
Yeah.
Speaking of your losses, I know a lot of people don't like reflecting on them, but 3 of your 4 losses were razor close. Is it more bittersweet losing that way?
Yeah, you know, it's like one of the crappy parts about it is, like, you know, some fights you just go to the judge's decision, and you just, you know, like, you do everything you can. Some of them are just like, man, you know, I think it depends. It depends on the fight. Like, look, some fights you're like, okay, yeah, I lost that one. I could have given it my all. Other fights you're just like, man, it's like, it's like, why is it that I didn't get the nod over this person? But like I said, it's always a thing with the judges, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but I thought you won the Moraes fight, and I'm sure a lot of people thought the same about Dawodu. Is it bittersweet seeing like the success of a Dawodu or an Ige who you have a win over, knowing that one judge could have boosted you into the top 15 instead of one of them?
Yeah, you know, it's sometimes it bothers, but sometimes, like, you know what? I gotta do better. That's it. I gotta do better. Make no excuses.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to have that mentality. Like, when you're this close, like a loss can set you back a year or 2. You know, it's good to see that you have that mentality.
Yeah, man. Look, that's the way it is. Like, you know, you're not gonna win every single one, and just come back from it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just come back from this loss, be better, and now make a run at 35.
So Timur Valiev, how do you view him as an opponent?
Hey, look, you know, everyone says great things about him. Doesn't stop, and that's a matchup I look forward to. It's simple, you know. He's ready to bring it. He just came off a loss, and I was gonna bring it. I came off a loss, so I'm gonna bring it. So it's gonna be fireworks in that fight.
When you do you do much watching of tape? I mean, he looked very good in that performance until he got caught. Are you someone who dissects tape?
Yeah, if I watch the tapes, I always watch the tapes. You know, it's always you're looking for little things to expose, little things to you can also do. You know, I watch his fights, I watch my fights, and I watch what I can do better, where he could exploit. Oh my God, it's like a video game. It's like you're trying to get all the stats right and shit.
You've competed in an empty arena before, but this is the first time you're going to be doing it since the pandemic. How do you, as someone who's been in there before and experienced it, do you think it benefits your performance or it hinders it?
I think, well, if you look at all the fights lately, they've all been amazing. I think it benefits a lot of people because a lot of fighters. It simulates being in your gym. And you are in the gym, you know, it's just you and the other person, whoever your training partner is going to be, whoever your sparring partner is going to be that day. And it's just like, it makes it more realistic for you. And I think also that's why people don't deal with the pressure of the crowd. So it's pretty interesting because I think the fights they've been better than ever without a crowd. But look, everyone's different. Some people feed off the crowd, some people don't. So I think it benefits everyone a lot more. I don't know how it does in their pockets, but I think for the people who are fighting, it's going to benefit more and gives them a little more exposure. People can really see their self in there.
You can also hear your corner a lot better.
Yeah, that's always interesting.
Yeah, could be good, could be bad too.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Schulmann because you've been there your entire career. Unlike most people who kind of experiment and try different gyms, you've stuck by them the entire time, and they've stuck by you. Why have you been so loyal, and why have they been so loyal to you?
Well, they brought me to this level. You know, to be honest, I really didn't do any other sports. I was just, I think I was just your casual, fat, chubby kid, and then I came in, started training, I fell in love with it, and they believed in, like, take yourself further. You're really good. And that was just through consistent training. And next thing you know, I started fighting at 18 and, did a lot of competitions. And next thing you know, I'm like, okay, I'm going pro. Next thing you know, I'm like, all right, we're going to the UFC. I'm like, yo, let's freaking do this. And I was just so motivated because they guided me through, through my ups and my downs. They never left, like they were always there for me. Whether it was fighting wise, teaching wise, just emotional wise, like my team was there for me, and just like they guided me through a lot of points in my life. I'm like, then I'm very thankful for them. They've been loyal. I've been loyal to them.
Yeah, I mean, you see so many people leave the gym. If you could give a message to up-and-coming fighters who are tempted to go to an ATT or an AKA, I mean, Tiger Schulmann is a great gym in its own right. People who are tempted to go to those bigger gyms, what would the message be?
I'm just saying, it's like, look, just pay attention. You find a coach that's gonna have your best interest for you, and that's gonna nurture you as a fighter. Like, look, my coaches made me do amateur MMA, kickboxing, boxing, a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments to make sure that when I go in there, I was pretty well rounded, right? And I was comfortable in every area, and it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna train for 6 months. Like, okay, we're gonna throw you right in the ring. It's like, no, they developed me as a fighter, and this is where I am today. And just trust the process, right? Find yourself a coach you trust. Take their coaching, trust the process, and you'll find yourself where you want to be. But just find yourself a good gym. They're not just you're not just a body where you can get tossed around and get hurt. So.
Yeah, I think that's a great message. I want to ask a little bit about this because I am Hispanic myself. What does it mean to you to represent both the Colombian flag and the American flag?
Oh, dude, it's unreal because like now you're seeing couple, there's still a lot more that are gonna be coming up, but it's also a couple fighters in there, and it's one of the places that I wouldn't say it got overlooked, but it was like they weren't sure there was the talent that was there because in all honesty, everyone's more soccer based, but it's like. It kind of felt like, we're kind of being a little bit overlooked in a way where it's like, we're not sure if there's somebody, but now got a bunch of great talent coming out of there. And, if maybe not saying I was, but if me being a Colombian in the UFC opened the door for a lot of the other Colombian fighters, then, I'm glad I contributed to that. And now you got, Alejandra Azul, who fights in Bellator. You got Sabina Masso, right? You got Ryan Barberena. I mean, you got a bunch of other people in there who are representing, and now they open the door for many other Colombian talents. You got I think Danny Chavez. Also, yeah, look, they're open. They help open the door and create a pathway for more Colombian talent to jump in there.
Is your goal? Would your goal eventually be to maybe represent your country and potentially compete in Colombia, bring an entire card there?
Yeah, man, I would love to do that. That'd be amazing.
I want to ask a couple last questions before I let you go. Huge title fight next month, which is crazy. Conor McGregor is back facing Dustin Poirier. What's your prediction?
You know, I think it's gonna be a scrap. I think Conor's gonna take it, and he's not gonna underestimate Dustin. I think Dustin's gonna be more prepared now. I think he got past that point in his life when I know when they're younger, it was a little more emotional, and he was a little more stuck for it. And I think he went in there emotional, and that's why kind of Conor got in his head and tagged him. But I think now it's going to be a whole different Dustin. Who, I mean, you see how much he's grown just through years of fighting. So, you know, but it's going to be a great main event. Can't wait. And my teammates Shane's fighting.
And what can we expect from you next time out?
Ooh, next time out, I just can't. One, I can't wait to get back in there, and two, I just can't wait to get in there and scrap. Go back to what I love to do. Right? I've been missing it. Lit like a huge fire under my ass. Now that I got the fight, everything's set. Can't wait to get back in there.
Does your diet or your Christmas like plans change now that there's a contract signed?
Yeah, you know, it makes it worth it though. You know, it's like you're gonna have to be like, ah, damn, I can't. You're gonna see everyone at the table eating all the delicious food, and they're gonna, fuck. But then it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
All right, man. Thank you very much for the time. Is there any sponsors or anybody you want to thank before I let you go?
Definitely, man. I want to first always give shout out to my family, my sisters, my brother-in-law, all my family in Colombia. I want to give shout out to my team as always, all my teammates always there, and they're like my brothers and sisters, and you know they with their help through my training, they helped me get to this level, and you know you're gonna get many more up-and-comers coming out of from our team when they turn pro. Also, just shout out to NutriBio, who's supplying me with all the best supplements, especially keeping me healthy through this whole pandemic. LFG Coffee, small business that's really, you know, up and coming as well. They make delicious coffee. Ready Strong Meals, been helping a lot, especially dealing with the weight cuts and the meals that I need in order for this fight to happen, for me to get down to 35. I also have Counter-Strike, and Edge Pro PT, who have been very helpful, especially with my recovery through my elbow surgery, strength and conditioning, and everything I need. And yeah, shout out to everybody, man, who's been part of this journey. And thank you for being such great supporters.
All right, man. Thank you for the time. All the best. Stay safe, and I can't wait to see you back in there.
Oh, man, thank you. Stay safe.
Boom. There we have it. Julio Arce. There was a little bit of some technical difficulties there with the sound, but that was on my end. Man, but you got the message there. I mean, I can't wait to see him back in there. That weight cut is hopefully gonna do good things for him throughout his career. He has a great mentality, great attitude, even despite those losses. I can't wait to see him. And be sure to check out the website, fighterpath.com. Make sure you check out Bloody Canvas MMA as well, and MMAprospects.com. 3 websites now, all up and running. And all of my stuff will be on those websites and fighterpath.com. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And I will see you guys next time.